Welcome back to Sports Hop. You already know what time it is. It's your player partner, Mack B, back at it. We back at it again. I got my co-host Kapeash in the building.
Kapeash is in the building.
He's in the building, and guess what? We got a special guest for you today on the couch. We got Mr. Freestyle Extraordinaire himself. Hazerd's in the building. What's up, family?
Cracking, Mac. How we doing, sir?
How you doing, brother?
Peace. How we doing, dog?
Good to see you, man.
Everything's solid.
Absolutely.
Hell
Yeah, man. Good to be here.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for having me.
We've been wanting to do this for a minute, and now we making it happen. We honored to have you here, man. So let's talk about you're originally from the IE, from Ontario.
Yeah.
Talk to me about, your childhood years, growing up in that environment. What was that like out there in Ontario, man?
We moved there when I was like 5.
Okay.
Whole family's like from East LA, so we moved out there.
Okay.
I grew up there, and it was like, I don't know, kind of like wherever you are, you know what I mean? There you are, right? Everywhere you at, there you are.
Right.
Regular, like kind of working class neighborhood, I guess. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I mean, I grew up like outside right away. I remember I had both parents working.
Right.
And it was like the idea of property being expensive in Los Angeles, try to like move out, that way, right? I had both parents working, so I was just outside all the time growing up. I always, like my thing was like music for sure. I just always gravitated towards, from the first time I heard like Easy, Boys in the Hood.
Classic.
Or like Brass Monkey from the Beastie Boys.
Classic. That was one of my favorites.
You know what I mean? Like, I remember listening to, Today Was a Good Day by Cube, or having a Doggy Style tape.
Yeah.
I was like 7.
Right. Shout out to Snoop.
Yeah, man. And
Death Row. Yeah.
My homeboy came to school. He had taken his, let me sure I got it right. I think it was his brother's girlfriend's Walkman, and then his tape. And then there was a Doggy Style tape. We sat there at lunch all week, like in the back of the playground, just sitting there like listening to Doggy Style. Like, this is crazy. Like, I just remember like this dude's talking crazy on to me it was the craziest shit ever. Yeah. He's talking about sexual shit that I had no like I was like, this dude is crazy, right? And I just remember listening, and then my homeboy's older brother came and beat both of our asses.
Oh,
we literally played that thing until he fucked the tape up.
Oh man.
Oh shit. So
right.
He like came to school and beat our asses.
Wow. Now, did you take the lingo to the crib? Now, you was in the schoolyard, right?
Yeah.
Reciting these rhymes. Did you come back home with it? And mom is like, what the hell did you just say?
That happened all the time.
Yeah.
I'll be singing songs. I mean, half this, I knew like what a cuss word was, right? I knew, but half the stuff I didn't even know what the hell he was talking about.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm sitting here talking about hitting the bitch Doggy Style.
Yeah. It just sounded cool.
It just sounded cool. I'm saying hitting the bitch for the back. I'm like, what? Like, what?
Right.
I'm 7, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Wow.
But that definitely, for sure.
Take me through the high school days of Hazerd, man. Were you an athlete, man? Were you one of the cats that was always skipping class and just bumping, hip hop? What were you doing during that time? I know you were still messing with the music, right? Were you actually recording? Were you an athlete and an artist? What were you doing during the high school days?
Not like I had always loved sports, right? I love basketball. It's like my favorite sport.
Yeah.
But I got to be a freshman and I realized like, I'm not going to look like that. Like I see some of the ball players are like 6'1", 6'2".
Right.
They're dunking now, right? Like you're in high school.
Kangaroos.
The ones that could are dunking.
Yeah.
Right? Bro, I'm 5'4". Like, bro, I can have all the fundamentals down. Like, I'm not gonna play basketball. Like I had a very real like moment, right?
Yeah.
And I had always loved music. I had thought about wanting to rap. And then I started to. I started like jumping into ciphers and like freestyling. And, that was how I started. But it was just that and being stupid.
Right.
Just like rapping and gangbanging. That was really it. Nothing positive. I kept going to school for whatever. I always remember thinking like, I used to laugh at the homies that would ditch. I said, tell a story. We ditched school and we had to sneak back into school by the end of the day because we had nothing to do. Right. Like we were like, this shit was like, it was hilarious. Dub. You know what I'm saying? So we ended up sneaking back in. I was like, I ain't never ditch you with you fools again. This is whack.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you get older, you might get a girlfriend or something like that, and then you want to spend all day fucking, I guess.
Right.
But, like, besides that, like, I was just always at school because that was where the trouble was. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah,
It's a process, man, and we all learn, right, at different times.
Yeah.
We mature and we have setbacks. We sometimes come out on top. Talk to us about the process of when did you take this seriously, where you thought, okay, I can make this a full-time hustle, this rap game, this music stuff.
I mean, I tried to, like, right out of high school. I remember we put a CD out. Like, we had recorded the CD. It was me and my boy God Beats.
Yeah.
And then this dude Money, and we had like a group. We did a whole album, pressed up like 1,000 copies, and we sold them. We were like promoting our stuff like on MySpace. 2000,
MySpace days.
Old school.
2006.
Taking it back.
I remember those.
But I was like heavy. Like, my boy God Beats used to always say, like, your problem is you do what you're rapping about. So I was always like in the street being stupid. So I got arrested when I was 18, and then from the time I was 18 to the time I was 24, I was either in jail, on bail, probation, or in prison. I finally did like a 5-year stint from 20 to 24. Came home at 24, and I wanted to do the music full time, but I had no idea where to start. It was like I went away at the beginning of the MySpace stuff.
Right.
I came back, MySpace was dead,
Gone.
and it was Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. This is 2012.
Yeah.
I tried making music, but I had a PO that had told me, like, if I hear any kind of, like, you know, anything gang related in your raps, I will violate you for a rap lyric. Like, try me.
Crazy.
And they really would do it too.
So I spent like a couple years on parole, like trying to rap about my reality, but kind of being scared to fully do so.
Right.
And then I had kind of settled on making like a lot of politically charged music.
Yeah.
Because it was something that was important to me, I cared about, and I could be honest about.
Mm-hmm.
But it was safe for me to do that. Like,
Right.
I always say I had the opposite problem. Like, a lot of rappers got to exaggerate or lie about their life, and I had to, like, not talk about mine.
You was just too authentic.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I was like, I had to not talk about it, right?
Yeah.
So when I kicked parole, when I did all of that, we're like 2015. I had a little run. I had like the song called Start a Riot. I had a song called Modern Day Slavery that had got to #1 on Snoop Dogg's Underground Heat.
Mhm.
This is during the time that like Dej Loaf was on there, Lil Dicky was on there.
I remember that.
Like, I was on that countdown at that time, and we went #1.
That's
And
big.
then I had another record called Start a Riot. It was about police brutality and whatnot. And that did well too, like locally, right? And then I kind of hit a wall. Like, I don't even know what to do no more. I don't like this music I'm making. Like, I had success with it, but I didn't like it. Because I felt like I was kind of shackled. You know what I mean? I was like, man, I want to make the music that I want to make. And so I was like, well, shit, I'm not on parole no more. I guess I can talk my shit a little bit, right?
Hell yeah.
Right.
But then I kind of got worn down. I was like, I'm kind of done with music. I got custody of my daughter like 6-7 years ago, and right when I did, my boy Urban of all angles had hit me up like, hey bro, let's do some records. I got some beats I've been making. Let me show them to you. He came through. He showed me like 10 beats or whatever. They were dope. We recorded a bunch of records. We're gonna put the stuff out. We did this project called Boom Baps and Gangster Raps. And I like the music.
Dope handle too. Like
I
that
loved
title.
everything about it, right? And so, but I was like, bro, I'm tired of putting out music and 10 people listen to it.
Right.
20 people listen to it. So like, we should do something to promote the music. What if I do a freestyle every week? We'll drop it every Friday. I'll drink a 40 or Mickey's. We'll call it 40 Ounce Friday.
Right.
So I had the name. Yeah. You know,
Speaking of which, you know, we had to come bless you, family.
40s.
Yeah, you know.
Speaking of 40s,
Well, we had to come bless. You know, hey, come on, man. Come on, let's
hold on, we
let's
gotta do
come
a
on
toast.
in with
Yeah,
this
hold on.
official salute right here. Salute, dog. So
Cheers, gentlemen.
yeah, we got to get started.
speaking of
crazy.
40s real quick.
So, but
Oh,
You read my mind because that was my next question: is how did it come about with the the whole 40 ounce freestyle?
Yeah, so I
Friday
had
and all
I came up with the name 40 Ounce Fridays, and then we talked about it, and we started doing them. I had told him, well, let's see if we can do like 10 or 15, maybe 20 of them. We'll see where people's interest is.
yeah.
that. Right.
And I might have had 600-700 followers on Instagram at the time. And had nobody really paying attention.
Right.
We started 5 turned to 10, 10 turned to 15, turned to 20, 20 turned to 30. We got to 40. And I was like, yo, this is dope. We were jacking for beats, volume 1 through 39. We got an original beat for volume 40. I went to like a rehearsal studio. We filmed it a little differently, like with a professional camera. Everything we had done up to that point was on our phone.
Right.
Did the whole thing, put it out. We felt good about it. And we were like, you know what we're going to do? We're going to go for a year. A year's worth of verses, and then we'll drop this project. We'll drop the Boom Baps and Gangster Raps.
That's it.
God bless Urban. Brother, it's going to come out one day, I promise. To this day, that music never came out. So, because right before the year hit, the COVID shutdown happened.
Oh yeah.
So then it was like, well, we can't have our event.
Everything was at a standstill.
I was like, well, fuck. Should we keep doing them? I asked my homie, like, I told my boy Urban, what if I record them at my house and I send you the files and you like line everything up and then send them back to me? And he was like, bet. So he started doing that. We did that for like 30, 40 weeks. Like, there was nothing else to do.
Right.
Yeah.
And people were hitting me like, bro, thank you for keeping these going. Like,
Yeah.
this is a bright spot to my week. Thank you very
You were
much.
changing
I
people's
appreciate it.
lives.
Yeah,
I was
family
like,
base.
this is cool. Like, this is really cool. So we're growing the community, but it was slow. I'm telling you, it was like 1,000, 1,100 followers, 1,200 followers. You know, we were happy if we had a week where we did 1,000 views on a video. We got 1,000 views on a video. It was a great week.
Right.
We did that for like 2.5, almost 3 years. Well, at about 2 years, my boy Urban was kind of tapped out. We did those first 2 years. We were either in his house, my house during the shutdown, or his house again. And we got to like volume 100, 105, 106, somewhere around there. And he told me he just couldn't do it no more. He was starting a family, whatever the case was. And God bless him, that's my boy.
Yeah.
But he just told me like, I don't have the time for it, bro. I was like, yeah, no problem. At that time, my boy Danny Zico had has a recording studio called Room Z, and he had been telling me like, "Hey, bro, come through to my studio, do it in my studio. Like, I want you to like be able to grow your series, keep it going, and I could use the branding from what you're doing to kind of pump up my room." And I'm like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
So I went over there, started recording there, and I've been there since, right? We've done a ton of like small tweaks with the series, using different lighting, whatever the case is, just kind of trying to tweak it, but
Change it up a little bit.
but the main thing has been every week drop a verse,
Consistency.
every Friday, right?
Yeah.
About 2 years ago, what changed everything was about 2.5. I think it's 2.5 now. About 2.5 years ago, I had a couple of homies that kept telling me I needed to start a TikTok.
Oh, okay.
So I finally did one time, started TikTok. I put up a few videos. I had one video do like 50,000 views overnight. And I was like, that's crazy. And all of a sudden I had no followers, and now I had like almost 1,300 followers or something like that.
Good.
Just like that.
In one night. And I remember showing my older daughter, my stepdaughter, but I raised her. And so I remember showing her like, look, like I got 13. And she's like,
Wow.
you know, there's people with like literally millions of followers on this thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, like she like busted my whole bubble. I remember I went to the shower. I put my phone down. I looked at the TikTok app. I'm like, stupid app. Like I put it down. I jumped in the shower. Came out the shower. My phone was still open. And I was like, fuck, like my phone's frozen. And I looked, and there's a little number on the bottom of notifications. And that thing just keeps going up 1 to 99 plus, and then refreshing.
Wow.
1 through 99, 1 through 99.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at my follower count. I jumped in the shower, it was like at 1,300. I got out the shower, it was like 3,000
Wow. Went
in like
viral.
20 minutes. I went to the restroom. Excuse me, I went to my room. I'm like drying off and shit. I'm getting dressed. I'm at like 4,500, 5,000 followers. I'm like, what happened? It was a video I put up of me like drunk, blackout drunk at the homie Danny Zico's old apartment. And I'm rapping. Like drunk as hell. And I remember I had captioned it. This dude got blackout drunk and then this happened.
I think I might have seen that, to be honest.
So yeah, that's like my most viral.
I might have seen.
It's like 14 million views like on my page.
Wow.
It's done 1 million on like 4 other different pages.
Bro,
How long is the video?
It's like 3.5. It broke every rule. It wasn't recorded on the TikTok app. It was horizontal instead of vertical.
Oh, okay.
It was 3.5 minutes instead of like 3.5 seconds.
Right.
It broke every rule and it just went.
Oh my.
It was out.
That's when stuff
I
flies.
posted that shit. I posted that shit like at 3:30.
I have seen that.
I posted it at like 3:30 or 4 on a Saturday.
You didn't have a hat or glasses
And we
on,
did.
right?
I think I had a ball cap, but it was back, but no glasses.
Oh my.
It was an old video
I've seen
too.
that.
It was like
I've seen that.
I posted it like 3:30, 4 o'clock on a Saturday, and we had 1 million views by midnight.
Wow, that's sick.
Bro, that's crazy.
That's sick.
We had hit 1 million views, and it was out of there. Let me see.
And you was lit, right?
I was lit.
You was faded.
I was super faded, and people were going. Is this one right here?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a
So this
All
shit,
right.
this shit like it did like 14.2 million.
Yes, I've seen this.
Okay.
That's you.
Yeah, it's me.
All right.
It was a long time ago.
Oh my
It's from
god.
like
I've seen
2016.
that. That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's from like 2016. It was an old video.
Right.
And I had posted it on. What happened was I had posted it on Facebook. It got like 15,000 views on there like a long time ago.
He was gassing on that.
And I said, thank you. And then what happened was I told my boy, like, remember that one time I was pissed drunk rapping? People seemed to like that. That was what was the like inspiration for 40 Ounce Fridays.
Oh my god.
We like tightened it up.
Right.
Sick.
You know what I mean? We
That
made
set it off,
like,
though.
serious. Yeah.
That's big.
That set
It
it
was an
off.
old video, so I put that old ass video up on TikTok and it went crazy.
Oh
That's
my
dope.
God.
And then like a bunch of people from there went back to Instagram, followed me there. Then like Rap Music shared it, like the page at
That's
Rap Music.
huge.
Yeah, they did like 1 million over there.
Good exposure.
You know what I'm saying? And then like Nothing But Bars or Bars Only or something,
Right.
something like that. It did like 1 million over there.
Oh my god. That's crazy.
So I've had a few
I seen that.
like get picked up off of TikTok
Right.
and then they just throw them over here.
Back to the IG.
Rock the Bells.
Okay.
It did.
Jeez.
That was crazy.
Now that's huge right there.
The Rock the Bells page shared it, and I remember that shit did like 1 million plus over there.
Man.
Wow.
I remember the homie hit me. The homie's from Queens. Actually, he's the fool that insisted that I started TikTok, and he's
Yeah.
from Queens originally.
Okay.
He goes, "My boys in New York are listening to your shit." I was like, "Word." Like Rock the Bells shared your shit, and I looked and I was like, "Oh fuck,
How did that feel?
that was dope, man."
Yeah,
Like,
right?
I'm a hip hop head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Mecca right there.
My mother had LL's albums and tapes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I grew up listening to that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I grew up listening to, you know, radio. I grew up listening to I Need Love. I grew up listening to Going Back to Cali.
Rock the bells.
You know what I'm saying? Rock the Bells.
Yeah, right. Literally.
And literally, right?
Right. Mama Said Knock You Out was dope too.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. You know,
Mama Said
LL.
Knock You Out. And so for me, it was like, damn, Rock the Bells shit, man. That's dope.
That's huge. That's history right
You know
there.
what I'm saying? It's cool when people show love that I came up on, or like when we were jacking for beats, when I would rap on an artist shit and they would fuck with it. Like
Yeah.
that was like Rocka from Dilated. I remember he hit me after.
Shout out to Dilated People.
Shout out Dilated. That's
We
Shout
just
out
saw
Rock,
them at the Toyota Arena. Yeah.
That dude, man, put his arms around me. He was real cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, no Diddy. But that dude right there, really, like he really embraced me, man. Like when he heard me rap on Worst Comes to Worst.
no.
Okay.
He said, man, I've been hearing people try to rap on that beat for years, bro. He's like, you did your thing on that.
That's sick.
So that was a cool feeling. And then like I grew up in the IE, right? And you know, ODM from Lighter Shade of Brown was like
Okay.
a hero to us out there.
Shout out to ODM.
Man.
Yeah.
And that dude's really embraced me as well.
Pioneer. He's a pioneer.
You know, he's shown me a lot of love.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's been pretty cool. He's had me on stage with him.
Right.
Like that's been dope. Like he was at the Omani Memories of Omani car show.
Okay.
And I was like, hey yo, let me get 16 real quick, go. And he goes, you want to rap? And I was like, yeah. He's like, come on, let's go. So he had me up there, 1,000, 1,200 people in the crowd.
It's a good
And
look.
he's like, yo, I'm always trying to push this forward. And this dude got next, and now here's Hazerd.
Yeah.
I was just like, yo, that was cool.
Right.
But like when the pioneers
I love that. That's when like
that I came up on. You know what I'm saying? Like when them people rock with me,
Extra special.
yeah, it feels like I'm doing it right.
Yeah, you are doing it right. And speaking of doing it right and the show element, talk to us about that process, family, of how you prepare for shows. What does it feel like rocking in front of thousands? What's your process behind all that, man?
That's my comfort zone.
Yeah.
So I just like, the only thing I try to do maybe the day of shows is limit how much I talk, I guess. I try to kind of get quiet or whatever. Yeah. That's really it.
Okay.
Other than that, like I'll just show up, I'll be fucking around, I'll be goofing around, and then when I hit the stage, it's time to go. I probably the only thing I've become big on now is I like the set. I like to physically write the set out.
Yeah.
And then tape it to the stage in like 2 places. I try to usually put it, if the stage is big enough, I'll try to put it on the left and the right side of the stage. So I'll write the set out.
That's smart.
And then like I tape it to the ground. I like to do that. That's like a thing I've been doing lately.
Yeah.
I just like it because you constantly know where you're at.
That's smart.
I mean, because I'll do, you know, even on a short, like, hey, we got you for 10 minutes over here. I'll still run through like 6 records.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Hook, verse, hook, verse, hook, verse, hook, verse, do a freestyle and get out of there, right?
Less is more.
So yeah, so I'll do that. So I'm like, damn, we got like 7, 8 joints. Even if it's a 10-minute set, we got like 7 joints. Which one's next? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I keep it written down on the stage. That's really it. That's my usual day of like routine would be like, how do I want to like, do I want to keep my exact same set? Do I want to switch something? I didn't like how this flowed last time. Let me switch these 2 songs. Or depending on the crowd, let me take this one out altogether.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's all. That's really the only thing I think about the day of a show.
Oh, cool.
Right. I've seen you get down live, but I've also seen some clips online, and you seem like you just in your environment, man, that you having a good time.
Yeah, I love it.
You don't seem uptight at all. It's just like you hella cool just to chop it up with now, but when you up there rocking, man, I can see that you really enjoy it. You authentic with it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
love that shit.
A lot of rappers are afraid to freestyle. You know, it's
Oh, yeah.
written, you know, or on their phone, or you know what I mean. So
I just love rapping, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I like, and that's the fun part. Like,
Yeah.
to perform, this is the fun part.
Yeah.
I already wrote the record. I already did all that.
Yeah.
That hard work. Performing is like fun for me.
yeah,
Right.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely a comfort zone for sure.
Right. You had spoke on, the fact you have a daughter and you're a father. Talk to me about the family element and how you balance that out, because there's family, there's also music and entertainment. How you walk that line, how you make that all happen. And what do they think of what you're doing?
I think the balance part just comes from sometimes you gotta kind of run on a little bit of sleep. Probably the big one. Like sometimes you're gonna have to do some shit when you're tired.
Right.
That's probably it, to be honest. Like there's, you get 24 hours in a day, right? And so what do you want to do with that time? So for me, what I learned was like, sometimes I'm gonna be a little tired and moody. I think that's the way I get it done.
yeah.
That's normal though too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because you have
Human.
people that and also you have people that work a 12 to 16 hour shift at a job. You know what I mean? Like they'll work a double and they'll work 5 doubles in a row at a day job, and they're a little bit tired too, right? So it's like anything really worth having is probably not going to be necessarily easy, right?
That's true.
So that's kind of my mentality towards that. As far as how my family feels about it, I think that I've been making music so long, for sure at a certain point they probably figured like, oh, he's like quote unquote too old, right? And so that ain't gonna happen. It's his hobby. And then all of a sudden, like, put a video on TikTok and
Yeah.
Takes off.
here we are, right? So
Yeah.
I think at first it was an adjustment period. Like my daughter, I remember, was in school and one of her classmates had found one of my videos and was like playing my stuff, and she was mortified. She's like in class, like she could hear me. It's like, I could hear you rapping, and I'm like, why is this kid listening? And he comes over like, have you heard this rapper?
They didn't even make the connection. They didn't know.
They didn't know. And so like that was a wild moment. You know what I'm saying? We'll be out, you know what I mean? I'm out at dinner or we're out walking somewhere and 40 ounce Fridays. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like or people kind of looking and then come over like, can I get a picture?
Yeah.
For me, I'm very grateful to any supporter. So I'm like, I tell them, like I've posted it before, like, look, if you see me out, just come up to me.
Yeah.
Don't fucking stare at me the whole night and I think you don't like me.
right.
Just come holler.
Speak.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
but that I think has been the adjustment, I guess, for them. Kind of having to share me publicly. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
And like I got good women in my life because really all they want is my time.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's really all they actually want.
Yeah.
So it's like that was the adjustment, I think, more than anything else.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? But we've made it work.
Right.
So it's a blessing for sure.
No, I like how you ended that phrase. All they really want is my time. Like that, you buttoned that well, man. That was dope, man.
What about the association with cookies? How did that start? Did you get hooked up with cookies and burner and all that?
Shout out to Burn, by the way.
Shout out to Burner, yeah.
Yeah. How did that happen?
So after the first viral moment on TikTok, there was some words said between Whack 100 and the homie Tres on I hate that app. What's that app called? Clubhouse.
Yeah.
They had talked. It had gotten racial somehow, and I thought it was kind of corny, the things that were said. So I responded to it on like the next 40 ounce.
Yeah.
And it went crazy. I put it on my TikTok. It went crazy on TikTok. It went crazy on YouTube. So, pardon me. One of the brand managers at Cookies, his name is Lucky. My boy Big Lux. Seen the video, loved it, reached out to me. He's like, yo, I got this show called The Hard Luck Show. I'd love for you to come on it. I'd love to interview you. I just really like the verse. I like what you had to say. If I was a rapper, I would rap like you.
Right.
Sick.
So in full disclosure, I did not realize Lucky was who he was. He was just real cool, very humble, very gracious. And I was like, sure, I'll do your podcast. Like, no problem.
Yeah.
I came on. He's like, oh, by the way, what size are you? And I was like a t-shirt? He's like, yeah. I was like, extra large. So I'm thinking he might have like a Hard Luck Show t-shirt.
Right.
Podcast. End of the podcast comes, and he's like, oh, 1 second before we're done, I got something for you. Extra large, right? I'm like, yeah. So he goes, he comes with like a stack, maybe 2-3 t-shirts and a couple ball caps, cookie stuff.
Right.
Shit.
Tosses them on my lap, and I'm like,
Mm.
man, bro, that's how you feel? Like, you guys be hooking up the cookies packs to the big dogs, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, what? For real? You think so? And I'm like, yeah, man, thank you.
Right. That was a good look.
After the show, he goes, hey, what's your address? And I was what's up? He goes, just give me your address. I'm going to give you a proper cookies pack.
Oh, shit.
Ooh.
So I gave him my address, and they sent me like a 12, 15-pound box of shit.
Wow.
Backpacks and hoodies.
You had the whole thing.
All types of shit. Just all types of cookies.
Different colors and all that.
all types of shit.
Dope.
Bro, I grew up like, middle working class. Not a whole lot of extra money to go around. So like, you give me a shirt, I'm gonna fucking wear it.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so they gave me, and the thing is I got a weekly series. So I was always like, damn, what did I wear this last week? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now I had a stack of t-shirts. I'm gonna burn through all these shit.
Yeah.
Sick.
So I just started wearing them every week. And this was at the time, right? Coming off the Whack 100 verse and then this interview, and I had done a couple other podcasts. My numbers are going crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm wearing them every week. And I think like some of the higher ups of Cookies like seen and was like, yo, who is this guy? You know, and like Lucky's like, oh yeah, it's this artist. And I brought him on. I gave him a box and whatever. And they gave me another box and another box.
Sick.
And then he started inviting me to spaces. He started inviting me
Yeah.
to
That's
like
good.
strain releases and what. And that's how I met Burner. I met Burner, and the first time I met him was in Maywood. I met Burner, chopped it up, and then he had followed me. And then the next time I seen him, he's like, "Yo, you be killing shit."
Dope.
Like, so that was cool. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, every time I see him, he shows a lot of love. I'm trying to get a collab done with him.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, that's gonna happen.
But he's a really busy dude.
Right.
Trying to find the right beat to get to him.
Right.
But,
Right.
Burner, appreciate your patience, bro.
Shout out,
I'm gonna get
Burner.
you something.
Shout out to Burn, the cookies movement.
Yeah, shout out to and then Lucky. Like I said, he's the one that
Lucky as well.
brought me over. The brand manager, Lucky. He's a real good dude, really bright guy, and I've just been able to kind of run around because of the logo on my clothes, right? Like I've been able to get into some cool places. I just be honest with you,
Yeah.
and I don't even like. don't try to throw it out there like, oh, I'm associated or
Right.
in some way, shape, or form affiliated with. I don't even do that.
Yeah.
I just wear the clothes and go places.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, bro, I think I've seen you rap before, right? Like,
Yeah.
Come here.
They just know.
That's the way it's supposed to be naturally,
Yeah.
right?
And so it's cool. Like I'll be honest with you, man. The logo on my jacket got me in a couple cool places.
That's
Dope.
dope.
And I'm very grateful. You know what I'm saying? There's some cool people over there. They've as far as cookies goes, man, they've been nothing but gracious to me. They look out a ton.
First time I met you, I was wearing a cookie shirt. I think you were like, oh, you rocking with sponsor my cookie. I was like, I wish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not at the moment, but yeah.
Yeah, I think
good
that was that complex.
Complex.
That was a complex.
Yeah,
Right?
that was a good look, man. And speaking of a good look, not so good look this season, we're going to pivot to sports. And
Oh man,
we're going to talk about the Los Angeles Lakers, man. And
breaking my heart.
gentlemen sweep. They did win a game this year.
win a game.
Okay. The Nuggets swept them last year in the Western Conference Finals. But shout out to the Lakers. I mean, every game was tight, man. And to be honest with you, there's a lot of unanswered questions regarding LeBron. I know his son, Bronny, has entered the NBA draft.
Yeah.
He wants to play with him. Nobody, is denying that. I really feel like the Lakers, they need a makeover, man. They need to make some wholesale changes. But I do think that getting rid of Darvin Ham, I don't agree with that move. You only had the brother for 2 years as a coach. And I know you got something to say, but let me finish. And keep in mind, he coaches the team. He's not on the court playing. These cats are missing games, getting hurt, turning the ball over, not hitting the rim. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff that he had to deal with. But the fact that they did win the play-in tournament, first ever, to win the championship in the midseason tournament.
Oh yeah.
And they did win that. And they did make the playoffs, and they made a deep run last year to the Western Conference Finals. Denver is, of course, the defending NBA champions, right? This year, they had to play them in round one. They did get one game, but they did. In the 4 losses, a lot of those games were close. They had the lead in every game. So I'm a Laker maniac. I love my Lakers, man. I'm not happy with the direction that they've gone in. I don't think Darvin Ham, should be the scapegoat for this. I think they should have gave him at least another year or two. What are your thoughts, man, on the Lakers season and where they're going? Both of you.
You see how I keep drinking?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So, part of the problem is, I don't know. It's the weirdest thing. Watching LeBron play here for the last 4 years, whatever it's been, you watch role players that should be perfect to play with him, and they just fucking stand around and watch the guy. It's this weird thing, and I don't know, that shouldn't be on him. It shouldn't be his fault that he's great at what he does.
Yeah.
But it's this weird thing where players freeze up or they don't, and that's not really his fault necessarily.
No, it's not.
But it's like they really don't live up to their full potential, playing next to him, right? They go stand in the corner and shit and wait for him to just kick it out to him. And it's like, bro, fucking move around, right? So, and then they leave, Jordan Clarkson, Brandon Ingram, and they ball out elsewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doesn't make
Fucking big time.
Josh Hart over there in New York.
He's killing it.
And you're like, bro, you know what I'm saying? And then then you see so that's the difficult thing for me is you can't really knock LeBron for that, but at the same time, it's a thing. It's palpable, it's real. This is, you know what I mean? We're watching it happen, right? The Lakers are a class organization. The reason why I'm such a fan is because I'm loyal to a fault. And I feel like that team is as well. Right. They're gonna look out for you. They're gonna give you that parachute at the end, even if you don't really quote unquote need it. Kobe didn't need that last 2-year contract or whatever it was, right? He really didn't.
But he earned it.
That was but he earned it.
He earned it.
He earned it, and it was a hell of a nice going away package, right?
Yeah.
It's the same reason that you're able to year after year lure in free agents, because they're like, hell yeah, if I go play for the Lakers and get a couple chippers, they're gonna take care of me at the end, right? It's just been the Laker way since Dr. Bus signed Magic to a lifetime contract, right? Where he getting whatever it was, 30, 40 years, $1 million a year, right? That was a huge deal at the time. That was like a huge big thing. It was revolutionary, right?
Right.
And it's just like, to me, we're gonna have to deal with some of the like disadvantageous part of that. Like for the next couple of years, if Bron wants to be here, Genie's gonna pay him. He's gonna be here, and you're gonna have to build around an aging LeBron. I mean, an aging LeBron's
40 years old.
Thing. 40
He's still a great player, but I mean,
he's still gonna give you 25, 7, and 5.
But
right? Like, that's what he's gonna give you.
D'Angelo
Until I
Russell.
see him not do it.
D'Angelo Russell, disappointment. Jekyll and Hyde. 1 minute he balling,
he hot and cold.
and then he disappears like
he's hot
Houdini,
and
man.
cold.
Rudy Hachimura was inconsistent. Austin Reeves was pretty much consistent most of the season, but he tailed off in a few of those playoff games. They need more depth.
I feel like Reeves did what he was supposed to.
For the most part.
Yeah, I think also you gotta understand he's still a growing player.
Of course.
He's still a young player. Like, he's relatively a young. What's his second year?
Mm-hmm.
We need more depth on the bench. We need a better bench.
And they keep gassing out too. I feel on the fourth quarter, like they're famous for gassing, like just.
Well, I mean, Bron's 40, right?
Giving up the lead every time.
Bron's 40. Anthony Davis is who he is. Although he did play a lot this year.
Anthony Davis balled out. I've been rough on Anthony Davis. He played well. I cannot fault Anthony Davis at all.
I mean, I think the problem is that you're trying to build around a 40-year-old LeBron.
Yeah.
And it's a unique thing because he doesn't suck. He's not ass. He's still super efficient, and you would take him over a ton of players. But he's not. He's 40. He's not 28, right? So you're dealing with, like, he's going to get his averages just because he's that great. But are his averages really impactful to the game? I just feel like, very respectfully, very humbly, like, he's going to hit his averages because he's that great. But is that 27, 7, and 5, is that doing any good? Or is he just out there, like, kind of like, are they empty calorie stats?
Right.
Forgive me. I know it's gonna sound like that because it's not. Because I'm really not like a LeBron hater. Like I'm a super realist when it comes to LeBron. Like, anybody that does this for this long, I guess if you insist on the Jordan, Kareem debate, whatever the case is, longevity, the whole nine, you're a hater if you have many lower than, in my opinion, like third all time.
He's top 5. He's not the GOAT, but he's top 5 to me.
I understand why people will still say Jordan. I get it. You're never, and if you feel that way, you're never gonna change your mind. But to me, he's like top 2 or 3.
I put Kobe over LeBron. I'm sorry.
Like, Kobe for me personally.
Jordan, Kobe.
For me personally, Kobe's
Magic.
my favorite player on time.
Kobe.
Jordan, Kobe, Magic, LeBron.
Okay, I personally feel Kobe's my favorite player of all time.
Yeah. Well, I knew Kobe.
I'm wearing the Mambas, like,
Mama.
like,
rest in peace.
I am such a Kobe.
Yeah.
It's my favorite player.
Yeah.
Accomplishment wise, at this point, bro, like, what are we talking about? The man is 40 and he's still hitting his career averages.
Oh, he's balling, but defensively, he's a liability.
His liability, and
Defensively,
like I said,
he's a
I feel like he's so great, he's gonna hit his averages just because.
Oh yeah.
But I don't feel like he's as impactful on games anymore.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Right.
I don't think that his 25 that it's like, okay, cool, we need it before we don't, but it's not like, yo, Bron really, you know what I'm saying? So, and then he'll have those stretches of games where he'll play 45 minutes a game, 3 games in a row,
Yeah.
and then he's like shuffling around, like he looks like he needs to go to the old folks home, right? And the dude, look, he's amazing. Nobody's ever done what he's done at his age. It just, we haven't seen it. Kobe's my favorite player. We watched his body betray him.
Oh yeah.
The last 2.5, 3 years of his career, we just watched everything from him. He went for a dunk and tore his fucking rotator. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying?
He tore his Achilles.
He tore his Achilles, but then when he came back from it, he had messed his shoulder up just going up for a dunk.
But the one thing about Kobe, the Black Mamba, you would never, ever deny is he gave you 100% when he took the floor.
Sure.
Healthy or injured, he gave you maximum effort. I don't see that all the time with LeBron and some of these other players. And I love LeBron. He's a great player, but there's still only one Mamba. I got to say it.
Yeah, the last Kobe game was epic.
Yeah.
Bro, I had a show that night. I performed, and we hosted like a Kobe viewing party.
That's dope.
I got video from that night. I remember sitting there like I was damn near in tears. Those last few buckets, I was just like
60. 60
it was the
61,
dopest, bro. It was the
60
dopest.
against
It was the
Utah.
dopest shit. It was the dopest shit. You would have thought we won a championship then.
It was so.
I wish I
epic.
would have went to that game.
It was so. Epic.
Man, I wish. Solomon, chime in on this conversation, man. What are your thoughts?
Parades in the
epic.
street that night. That was wild.
Solomon, what do you think about the Lakers situation, man?
No, it was awesome. But I mean, the thing you got to remember about the Lakers now is the Lakers have never really built through the draft. And
Right.
that's why when we get these players, we end up getting rid of them because they're just chips to get better players who are sort of already NBA ready. We have to accept that that's how the Lakers are going to be. And so when we talk about, restarting, redoing everything, it's gonna be a process, because then you're thinking, okay, who else are they gonna bring in? And I personally think I would probably stick pat with most of those guys. I mean, because you have to remember a huge part of it was our guy who was injured the whole year, defensive player. What's his name?
Cam Reddish?
No, not him. The other one. He was injured the whole year.
Uh-huh.
You don't remember either.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank. Yeah.
Vando.
Okay.
Yeah. So Vando was hurt the whole year, and he was going to be a starter.
Vanderbilt, right?
Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt, yeah.
He was going to be a starter, and he was going to be the guy that would be the main defensive guy on most of the other players' best teams or best players. So
Yeah.
that's a big piece missing. So and you talk about firing the coach. The problem with that coach is that you didn't look at him and think, okay, players are going to respect him. And I would bet you that that's more the reason he got fired than anything else. It had nothing to do with his record. It had more to do with the fact that he just wasn't drawing that level of respect from such high-profile players that the Lakers have. And I feel like they're not going to do the young coach thing. I think they're going to try to go out and get somebody that players will look up to.
I think the problem isn't that they fired him. The problem is that they hired him, right?
You said they should have never brought him in.
Yeah, the problem with it that they let
Oh.
him go is the fact that they had him in the first place. I think that there was a poor pick as well for that reason. You need somebody with some kind of gravitas. They're talking about, you talking about a young coach? I mean, they're talking about JJ Redick. He would come in, obviously, with the stamp of approval from LeBron. They got that podcast they've been doing together, right?
Right. He's got a great basketball mind, though.
And he's always been that, right? So
He knows the game.
yeah, so if Redick were to do it, the last two I heard was Redick and
Tyronn Lue.
Ty
He's
Lue.
still in town with the Clippers.
We don't talk about that team.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
No, we don't talk about that
don't.
team.
I don't even
But
know
I'm
who
just
they
saying
are.
We'll
Tyronn
talk
Lue
about
was
that
a
team.
great coach.
Yeah, great coach.
And I think the first time they interviewed him, they dropped the ball. He wanted a 5-year deal. They weren't willing to give him the money he wanted, and now look at them.
You know why, though? Because no coach who has coached LeBron has ever been seen as a good coach until they've proven it somewhere else. And Ty Lue was the guy who won with LeBron and hadn't won anything else. And so they weren't going to take that chance.
Well, I think he's better than what they have now or what they had.
Completely. I mean, if you see what he's done with that other team, it has been impressive.
Yeah,
right?
it has been.
It has been impressive. So I would say that I would either Ty Lue or Redick. I think if we want to know what works for sure, you got to go Ty Lue. He has the
experience.
and he has the respect of LeBron. I mean, quite literally, the story was, I don't know if you guys heard the story, where it was right when he was starting to coach and LeBron was trying to kind of butt in while he was drawing a play up. And Ty Lue's words to him were, "Hey, Bron, shut the fuck up. I got it."
Yeah.
I remember that.
And that LeBron shut the fuck up. He's like, "Oh shit, my bad." Like he forgot his place, right? And he's like, "Yo, Bron, shut the fuck up. I'm the coach. Like, watch this." And from that point on, it was like, yeah, no, he's the coach. It's not LeBron's friend, right? Yeah. It's not as a favor to LeBron they're bringing in his buddy to coach. No, he's a coach in his own right. So I think if we're talking about what works immediately, yeah, Tyronn Lue. But then you got to look at what's going to be put around him, right? Like if we're still going to build around 40-year-old Bron, okay, what's going to work around him? right?
Right.
And there's no counting for injuries. You can't
Yeah.
Yeah.
can't account for that, right?
No.
But like, I do think, they were saying something about Lakers are looking to package their picks. They're aggressively searching for a third star right now.
Well, speaking of that, though, we also have, Solomon, you mentioned building through the draft. We got to look at Rob Pelinka at some point. That was Kobe's right-hand man. He was his former agent. But Rob Pelinka got to be held accountable for some of this. Jeannie Buss is running the franchise, and shout out to her. Her father was a true legend. But from an organizational standpoint, they got to make better decisions when it comes to player development, bringing in new acquisitions, whether it's through free agency. But the draft is a key element as well. So they got to get better at that.
I feel like they drafted really well.
The Lakers have always drafted well.
They
Look at all the
drafted,
players.
especially their late round pick. If you go look at everybody that they drafted,
Austin
from that
Reeves
era,
was a steal,
Austin Reeves, but before that, Kuzma was a steal. Before that,
but they let him go.
right. Before that, they had drafted Ingram. The problem was at the time, this was when Magic was the president of operations. He wanted to win now. He wanted to win yesterday, right? And I get it. He's a legend, the whole nine. But to him, all of those young assets were mortgageable if he could get something else done.
Do you remember what the one big time mistake that the Lakers made 5 years ago?
When
They drafted Lonzo Ball when they could have got De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron
there was
Fox
a couple other players that
is
could-
balling. De'Aaron Fox went to the Kings.
I think,
And he's balling.
I think Lonzo was a victim of some circumstances. I feel like,
Yeah.
I do think that
Local guy, local kid.
local dude, and there was some luck there though. There was some real bad luck. Right?
Well, his dad also played a role in that.
Yeah, I mean, he put a
Harbaugh.
target on his back, but at the same time, like I think that they were used to that.
Yeah.
I got a funny LeVar story. My brother was in high school. He was playing AAU ball, and I had just come home from prison. And he's like, "Oh, bro, you can see one of my games." I'm like, "Bet." We go to a game. It's AAU. My brother's like 15, 16 at the time, and a little 11-year-old Melo comes on the court. Lonzo's the coach. Melo's playing.
LaMelo.
No. Yeah, LaMelo Ball, the little brother.
Yeah.
So it's LaMelo Ball. He's like 11 or 12, and they're running against my brother's team. They're all like 15, 16, and these kids are running around like fucking madmen. It was wild to watch. They lost. I remember they lost, but LeVar was sitting courtside talking shit the entire time. And I'm like, "Hey, my boy, you guys are down by 15." And then he goes, "They're 12. That guy's got a beard." He pointed right at my brother. My brother had like a full beard by the time he was 15.
Oh, man.
So he's like, "They're 12. He's got a full beard." I started laughing. Like, I thought that shit was hilarious. I'm like, who is this dude,
Right.
And then years later, like when Zoe first started popping up, like on the national radar, my brother was like, "You don't remember?" And he told me the story. I'm like, "But I was that loudmouth motherfucker." But like, I actually got a lot of respect for that man because, like what I learned, like with 40 ounce, like you got to talk your shit
Yeah.
at some point. Like you got to kind of like beat your chest a little bit. Like,
Fact.
nah, motherfucker, this
Yeah.
is me,
Yeah.
right? And so like, I respect that about the man. Like,
Right.
and not for nothing. I mean, he's got 3 boys through, high school, and they didn't obviously do the traditional college route, but he's got them they're at the cream of the crop of their profession.
Right.
Like even with, Jello kind of got, he had his issues in
Yeah.
college.
He got caught up with some
Then he
weird
got
stuff.
slept on kind of because of it.
Yeah.
He's still a professional ball player. He's playing like overseas.
Overseas. Yeah.
So you got 2 kids that hit the NBA, and then one playing overseas. Like,
And
Doesn't
LaMelo was the
suck.
star. LaMelo was the star.
Melo. I mean, well, they always said that the baby was going to be the special. I mean,
He's
the
special.
reason that they hit the national media spotlight was because LaMelo scored like 90-some points in the game.
Yeah.
And he did it because he said his friend at school, she needed like surgery, either heart surgery or like some kind of cancer treatment.
Mm-hmm.
So he had said, "I got to score a bunch of points. This way, when the news comes, ask me why, I'm gonna tell him to donate to her GoFundMe."
Right. I respect that.
So like the kid, and that was as a freshman. He was a freshman when he
Yeah.
did that. I remember thinking like, who is this little motherfucker? He a bad boy.
Yeah.
That's
All over
hard.
the news. Right.
And I always thought that like because LeVar was kind of braggadocious, that those facts got lost. Like they're good kids, dude.
Yep.
Like they're very I've had the pleasure of meeting a couple of them. They're very respectful.
Yeah.
Like they come and introduce themselves and shake their hand. Like they come like they'll shake your hand and introduce them. Yo, Jello, Mello, nice to meet you.
Well mannered.
Dope.
Right.
Very, very respectful. And they're young. They're young, sort of kind of soft spoken, and whatever the case is. But like very respectful. Like they'll come and introduce themselves and shake your hand. Like you can't knock that man. Right. You raised 3 respectful sons that are like in the top 1% of their profession. Fuck. Because think about it. Because if you raised 3 respectful sons and they all became doctors and lawyers, you'd be like, God, that's a fucking dad right there. Right. Same thing.
Yeah, I know.
He called the shot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like for me, I have a different view of it. Like he's a wild boy, like for sure.
Right.
He's a real funny dude. You know what I'm saying? He's got to be kind of P.T. Barnum a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that's why I don't feel like the Lonzo thing was such a mistake. I think what happened was we were in love with the idea of getting right back to greatness, and we let all those young draftees go.
Yeah.
We let them all. They all left. Right, like we traded them all, and
we got rid of a lot of good
and what
assets.
we ended up with was Bron and AD, and then figure it out from there.
Yeah,
and we won a title in the bubble. A lot of people,
I was gonna say
with Frank Vogel, we won a championship, even though we couldn't celebrate.
Yeah, it was
which I'll never forgive the governor for that. I mean, we could have went outside. I'm like, damn.
But he was allowed to go to French Laundry.
Yeah, exactly. But that's another subject for another day.
Yep.
So. Keep it locked. You're watching Sports Hop. We got a freestyle coming. Y'all don't want to miss it from our man Hazerd on the couch. Keep it locked.
Look. Cause out here, even the pigs are banning station. They don't mean genetics when they call us gang related. Perfect hearing, but we speak a sign language. Swear it all started and it's really no debate. Cause out here, even the pigs are banning station. They don't mean genetics when they call us gang related. Perfect hearing, but they speak a sign language. Swear it all started and it's really no debate. I'm from the home of cultural affiliation. The sons bring shame to their mother's congregation. Preachers turn their back on the youth and stop praying. The hood shit get passed down through generations. It's a mixed bag when they talk to your relations. The ones that hate the hardest probably was on the same shit. They see you, it's like they looking in the mirror. And that's a tough pill to swallow, they don't wanna hear. You running around in black tee, strap tee. Went from being influenced by him to the black sheep. Attract me, how they running from the truth. Where the fuck they get that gangster? They learned it all from you. Cause out here, even the pigs are banning station. I don't mean genetics when they call us gang related. Perfect hearing, but they speak a sign language. I swear it all started and there's really no debate. Yeah. Let's head to the mic, get it right. Shouts out to the Sports Hop Show. My guy Mack B, my guy Kapeash, appreciate you. Yeah.
Woo, that was fire, man. You watching Sports Hop Media, man. My man Hazerd with the Out Here freestyle, man. He was tearing the microphone in half. This is what we do on this show, man. We definitely create a platform for well-known artists, up-and-coming artists. We hella honored to have Hazerd in the building. Yes, before we let you go, family, let everybody know watching the show where they can find you on social media and then a website as well if you have anything like that too.
So the Out Here would be technically be an unreleased song.
Okay.
But yeah, no, definitely. First of all, shouts out Sports Hop Media for having me.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, Matt, Kapeash. Definitely appreciate my guy on the board as well. You're doing your thing, bro.
Yes.
Solomon.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Solomon, for real. Your run of show has been amazing. So yeah, follow me at I'm a Hazerd, the letter I, the letter M, the letter A, Hazerd. That's on IG. That's on TikTok. I think it's called X now.
Yeah.
Twitter.
Formerly Twitter, yeah.
Twitter, Threads, all of it at I'm a Hazerd. And then my YouTube is Hazerd TV. That's HAZ3RD TV, because I guess there was some YouTube gamer or something that had the other one. Okay. So Hazerd TV, HAZ3RD TV on YouTube, and then Hazerd on all streaming platforms, HAZERD. Like I said, just expect more of the same. We've been fortunate enough, now that I like officially own the 40 Ounce Fridays name, we've been able to start licensing it. So we've got a brand collab we just did with Shockaware.
Dope.
We got a 40 Ounce Fridays t-shirt with Shockaway. That was dope. That was kind of a cool accomplishment. I kind of looked like, that's a world platform brand. You know what I'm saying? And so, I definitely shouts out everybody over at Shockaway. And then my guy Icon, he kind of in the back end made that happen. So I appreciate that assist. But yeah, man, I'm just trying to expand the brand at this point. It's about taking this thing that I came up with in my head and trying to fly that flag proudly, right?
Right.
And so just more of the same is what people could expect from me.
Right.
As far as performing, I'm like picky, man. I'd rather throw my own show and really connect with my fans.
Yeah.
Than necessarily be on like a big lineup. Don't get me wrong, there's been some cool lineups I've been blessed to be a part of. And when the situation makes sense, when the opportunity presents itself, I usually take advantage of that. But yeah, no foreseeable performances, I think, right now on my calendar. But look, catch me on my Instagram every single Friday.
Yep.
40 Ounce Fridays
40
ain't going
Fridays,
nowhere.
It ain't going nowhere. So
You got
we're
what,
only
episode
expanding.
266 coming?
266 on the way.
6.
Yeah, it's a blessing, man, to be rocking this after 5 years, and to still feel the inspiration for it.
Yeah.
Dope.
Like, I still get excited to do this shit.
That's exciting.
I still like how am I doing? How am I tagging it?
Yeah.
It's still fun for me.
That's dope.
So that's a blessing.
That's dope.
Good.
Capeash,
Yep.
shout out your handles on social media. Let
My
them know what's
handle
happening.
is Kapeash Kid, KAPEASHKID. Also, you already know I'm the sneaker plug, Kapeash_kicks as well. So you can find me there, YouTube Kapeash TV. I'll let you, boy.
Okay, and last but not least, your player partner Mack B in the building. Mack B, MACK, B as in boy, _, at Sports Hop Media, SPORTS HOPMEDIA. So at Mack B _, at Sports Hop Media. This is episode 24. Keep it locked. Don't you go nowhere. We got Hazerd on the couch. It's your boy Mack B and Kapeash.
We out.
Thanks for watching Sports Hop. Subscribe here for all the latest news on hip hop and sports. It's your boy Mack B.